بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم أبنائي وبناتي الطلبة. معكم بروفيسور دكتور إيناس البنداري، Professor of Physiology, Tanta University. Today we will discuss together this lecture, which is the introduction to muscle. We will know some objectives about these muscles, and will take inshallah the muscle, every type of the muscle, next in our lectures. Method of teaching is a lecture. Objectives: at the end of this lecture you must know different types of your body muscles and their functions, the physiological anatomy of the body muscle, organization of cardiac muscle, innervation of cardiac muscle, and then we will discuss organization of smooth muscle and their two types, unitary smooth muscle and multi-unit smooth muscle, and innervation of smooth muscle. Lastly, we will discuss organization of skeletal muscle. We will discuss internal organization of the muscle fiber. Sarcomere. What is the meaning of the sarcomere? It is the contracting unit of skeletal muscle. And what about T-tubules and sarcoplasmic reticulum? And lastly, innervation of skeletal muscle. This is our references. Now, how many types of muscle we have in our body? From your point of view, which one of them is more important for your life? There are three types of muscles: cardiac muscle cell, and skeletal muscle, and smooth muscle. About the tissues of these muscles, the muscle cell is called muscle fiber. Okay? And we will divide these types of muscle into, again, striated muscle and non-striated muscle. Striated means dark area alternate with white area. Dark area alternate with white area. And this return back to that there is regularly arranged contractile units. We will discuss in details about the contractile unit in skeletal muscle and smooth muscle and cardiac muscle, inshallah, in the module of the cardiovascular. Okay. Striation return back to the arrangement of contractile units. We'll divide striated muscle well divided to two types: cardiac muscle and skeletal muscle. Cardiac muscle characterized by that these fibers are elongated branched cells with a single nucleus. Elongated, as we see on the right of the slide in this picture. Cardiac muscle are elongated, with branched, and with a single nucleus, with intercalated disc at the end. Intercalated discs, inshallah, you will discuss it or see it in the histology, inshallah, lectures. Contraction is involuntary, vigorous, and rhythmic. Tick, 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 heartbeat, okay? involuntary, vigorous, and rhythmic. Then skeletal muscle is long, cylindrical, multinucleated cells. As we see, the right of the slide is long, cylindrical, and multinucleated cells. Contraction is typical, quick, and vigorous. Contraction is quick and vigorous. It is under our voluntary control, used for locomotion and mastication, and any voluntary activity by our skeleton, because skeletal muscle is called also somatic muscle, as it is attached to the skeleton or your bone. Okay. Non-striated muscle, only one type, is smooth muscle. Non-striated, we will see it inshallah in smooth muscle media. In contractile unit are not arranged regular. Contractile unit in smooth muscle are arranged in a regular manner. So smooth muscle is not striated. Okay. Its character is this fusiform cells with a central nucleus. Contractile fibers are irregularly arranged, non-striated. Okay. Contraction is involuntary, slow, and long-standing. Okay. It is present in the walls of hollow organs, glands, and large blood vessels. This slide shows us comparison between three types of muscles. As striation, skeletal muscle is striated, cardiac striated, smooth muscle non-striated. Control, skeletal muscle are under our voluntary control, cardiac muscle involuntary, smooth muscle are in voluntary control. Innervation, skeletal muscle take a somatic innervation, cardiac muscle autonomic innervation like sympathetic and parasympathetic. Smooth muscle also receive autonomic innervation, sympathetic and parasympathetic. Function, movement of body in skeletal muscle, pumping of blood in cardiac muscle, smooth muscle regulation of functions of internal organs. Site, skeletal muscle attached to the skeleton, cardiac muscle present in the heart, smooth muscle present in the gut, blood vessel, glands, etc. First, we will discuss the cardiac muscle in just summary, because as we said that we will discuss the heart and inshallah the module of the cardiovascular. Okay. Cardiac muscle occurs only in the heart. The muscle is striated but involuntary. Cardiac fibers are short, fat, branched, and interconnected. Cardiac muscle cells are interlocked by intercalated discs with gap junctions that allow activity in one fiber spreads to other cells and acts as a single functional unit. يبقى الجاب junctions between muscle cell fibers of the heart, as we see in the left side of this picture. We see gap junction. We see gap junction here down on the picture, the left. This gap junction like a tunnel, or a door between two rooms, a door in between two rooms. زي نفق بيعدي pass between muscle fiber. This gap junction allows the activity transmitted from one fiber to the another, one fiber to the neighboring fibers. Like action potential spread from single muscle fiber to the neighbor fiber, and thus electrical activity spread in all atrial muscle fiber with each other and all cardiac muscle fibers with each other. This allows contraction of both atria at the same time and the contraction of both ventricles at the same time, and this allows a pumping function of the heart, as all muscle fiber of both ventricles act as a single fiber, contract with each other to perform the main function of the ventricles, that's to say pumping of the 5 liters of blood at the same time. Okay? Next we will discuss smooth muscle. Types of smooth muscle are multi and single unit muscle. What is the meaning of multi-unit? Acts as individual units. No syncytium between them. No gap junction between them. As we see on the right of the picture, multi-unit are clusters of smooth muscles or groups of smooth muscles not contact with each other. Each fiber contract separately, not connected with its neighbor fiber. That's to say, no gap junction between them. It is present in intrinsic muscles of eye, like iris, ciliary muscle, and skin piloerector muscle. You discuss it in autonomic in case of sympathetic overactivity. Okay, there is erection of the hair by contraction of piloerector muscle. Okay, present also in multi-unit in large blood vessels. Also present in muscle of airway, and this is important. Airway like trachea, bronchi, and bronchioles. Okay, there is a smooth muscle which contract, but this type is multi-unit, and this is very important because if this muscle contracts in the airway passage with each other, we will leading to asphyxia or اختناق أو الخنق. دي نعمة من عند ربنا سبحانه وتعالى إن smooth muscle in the airway passages are multi-unit type. That's to say, each single muscle fiber contracts separately. Okay? The second type is single unit, and it is the most type in our internal organs. Okay? Or internal smooth muscles. This is about clusters of smooth cells connected by gap junctions, like in cardiac muscle. That's to say, activity in one cell spreads to other cells and acts as a single functional unit. We see these types of smooth muscle in gut, GIT, like large intestine, small intestine, and in uterus, and also in urinary bladder. And this is very important. This is very important because we need the urinary bladder to contract, all the muscle fiber to contract at the same time to can perform the act of micturition. And in the uterus, we need all muscle fibers of the uterus to contract with each other to allow pushing the baby during labor. And in case of GIT also, we need contraction of the smooth muscle of large intestine at the same time to evacuate itself into the rectum. يبقى single unit present in the organs that we need to contract the muscle fiber with each other and act as a single functional unit. Innervation of a smooth muscle innervated by autonomic nerves like sympathetic and parasympathetic fibers. Nervate smooth muscle at diffuse junctions. يعني diffuse that's to make منتشر. Okay. الفibers in by several of varicoses bulbs or swelling of nerve fibers that store and release neurotransmitters. This slide shows us multi and single unit innervation again, and we see a diffusion of the nerve fiber between the muscle fiber and also the varicoses or bulbs that contain a neurotransmitter. As we see the ciliary muscle of the eye, we see multi-unit or single unit. We see what? We see multi-unit. In small intestine, we see on the right of the figure, we see each type single unit smooth muscle or multi-unit, we see single unit. How you know it? By the gap junction between the muscle fibers. Okay? Thank you. We will return back in the part 2 of the lecture. Thank you, goodbye, and good luck.